How you guys doing? Welcome. This is Outlandish with Boone. I am Boone. It's the podcast I hope you want to listen to. I'm going to give you a bit of variety. It's what I do. Today, I'm bringing you information that I hope benefits you as it has benefited me. So essentially, just want to hop right into it. Unprecedented times. Government shutdown. 15 days into a government shutdown. We're on the cusp of individuals that are accustomed to getting benefits are not going to get next month's benefits. Federal government plays a crucial role in each and every state. Unprecedented times. It's happened. Government shut down before, but something in the air. Something's different. I started off 2025 going through a bit of adversity. Came to the year, finances were not where they should have been. I got accustomed to a lifestyle that was not indicative to my budget. Quite a bit of savings, spending more than have coming in, and then essentially what happens is savings dwindle, lifestyle doesn't change. Now you owing. Now you're asking for help if anything comes up. The cushion, that platform that we all need in this day and age. I came to the year without that. And I said to myself, you've been down. You got this. Sure enough, progress came. Increment, bit by bit, progress itself truly did come. What happened was I put myself in a position that I was truly contingent upon nothing major occurring. Came to the year in the negative. Great Christmas. Nice holiday season. But in the negative nonetheless. Material things. You know me. You know I like that shit. And truly, that's part of the issue. So first thing I want to say is if you're going through any form of financial adversity, like I came into the year experiencing, about 3 months in the year, March, my engine blew. I bought a car, height of the COVID pandemic. Car prices were extravagantly higher than they should have been. And I needed that shit. So I bought it. Been making the payments, been doing my thing. Engine blew. Paying more overall than the car's currently valued at because at that time, skyrocketed everything. You do. So engine blew. The expenditure for that was $11,500. Now, there's been a tremendous amount of times in my life where that amount was accessible. Not gonna lie to you, it wasn't. Came to the year with a deficit. My swag, the way I approach life, is not indicative to someone in a deficit. Herein lies certain issues. So for me coming to the year negative, I started seeing myself, honest version of myself. I had to make incremental changes, bit by bit. Knew that number one, if I try to change too much in one instance, biting off more than I can chew, that to me is the recipe for making quick progress, but not being able to sustain that pace. So what I recommend is taking an honest look at yourself, honest look at your income, honest look at what your bills entail. And to me, goal number one for any successful life is to be spending less than you are bringing in. Believe it or not, month over month, there are people that genuinely spend more than they have coming in, which inlines, I think, an issue that a lot of Americans are facing right now. And that is essentially we are dependent on our credit. And once that credit is exhausted, that payment, that minimum payment is astronomical in certain instances. So be mindful of the credit you have. Be mindful of the lifestyle you're living. And make sure that correlates with the income you actually have coming in. So many instances in America where we are put in a position where we need a second job or a second source of income just to balance that equation of spending less than we have coming in. think most Americans are right here with the expenditures and the amount coming in. And, you get that balance right. You get that balance right. Now you can truly capitalize. For me, one quintessential that I found that really worked for me, everyone's different. Everyone's capacity is different. But as I analyzed myself, I was able to take an honest look at some of the things that were truly pulling me down. Month over month, I've been spending less than I'm coming in. That's great now because I'm truly making progress in the various areas that I need to. But once that deficit, coupled with my engine blowing, that $11,500 expenditure left me in a situation where, help me please, help me please. And if you're put in a position where you need that, the whims of government, folks around you, $11,000, $11,500, a large expenditure for the average individual. I got one parent, and that parent is not pulling out $11,500. So herein lies a problem that maybe is unique to me, and maybe you guys just don't have that situation. Maybe y'all got the parents that got the dough that's willing to break you off. If you don't, what are you going to do when an adversity like that large, comes at you when you least expect it, when you're least prepared for it? And that, in many instances, is where a situation goes from being a situation to crumbling. And you're in a place where you may have less than nothing. Then you find yourself just striving to get back to a place where you have a roof over your head that's actually your roof over your head, be it lease or buying a home. So what can we do to make sure that whatever catastrophe should decide to knock on our door, that not only can we weather that storm, but not allow it to break all that we have, to make that foundation crumble in a way that you're not picking up the pieces. You got no place where the pieces fell because they asked your ass to go. So for me, taking that honest look at myself, identifying the areas of opportunity, places in which I can make legitimate change that will have strategic impact on my everyday life, strategic impact on my financial situation. So for me, one thing at a time, attempting to change something that is having a negative effect or a gravitational pull. That heavy shit, gotta get that off your plate. Gotta get that off your plate, baby. Yeah, because, be honest, ain't number one, maybe two plates, and that's at a buffet. For the most part, if you're living good within your body weight index, you're probably eating one plate. So in life and finances, you gotta make sure it's sustainable. One thing at a time, changes, implement that into your routine. Now that's part of your everyday process. You overcome whatever it is that particular adversity you decided to tackle first. Got a list, hopefully, because you took that honest look at yourself and just bit by bit incorporate various things into your everyday plan. The rhythm of your day now over time will have these positive things that you've legitimately put in. So financially speaking, if you are making more than you have going out of your account, great. A lot of instances that's not the case. Identify areas of opportunity, tackle that. And then from there, you can actually tackle the other things that may be pulling your credit down. I realize that African Americans, people with very unique backgrounds, Black folks, we lack generational teaching. You think about tools that one person passes down to their children, which then gets passed down to their children. And if it's a two-parent household, then you're getting various skills that have been honed generation after generation, all being coupled into you. So not only are you being fed information in the house, but you're also learning outside the house. And people ask, white to black, slavery doesn't have an impact. Guys, just get over it. Well, you look at the various attacks that have occurred to African Americans. The government has had multi-pronged attacks trying to get these niggas down low. It's been released. The FBI has released numerous documents showing what they actually did. The CIA, what hasn't been disclosed, who knows? But they've disclosed a lot. These various things were used to target African Americans to destabilize households, which herein lies the challenge of having generational teaching. If the parents aren't there, one parent's not there, then you're not getting consistent years of skill building, unique skill building. So, that said, to my Black folks, I realize that some of us, may not have been given adequate skills, tools to not only understand what the credit building process is like, the various things that will actually increase your credit score, how to handle debt if you have multiple things in collections, So you look at the inherent issue that some people can't get over, and that stabilization of that, expense to income ratio. You get that down, maybe meeker lifestyle than you were accustomed to, less than certain amenities. Make what you are bringing to the table work for you. Make $100,000 and spend $120,000, baby, you got an issue. Make $1 million, spend $2 million. You ain't that baller you claiming to be. So, income, that bigger boss status shit, that shit ain't nothing if you don't have the basic tools, the fundamental tools to truly capitalize on what it is you're bringing to the table. So, let's just say hypothetically, you have 3 things in collections. You have a $500 thing in collection, a $1,000 thing in collections, and a $2,000 thing in collections. Some people like, it's $3,500. That's daunting. Some people are making $3,000 in a month. I'm not that individual. I have a full-time job. I'm thankful. I can clearly say, based on where I am currently and where I'm hoping and striving to get to, changes may, in fact, be made on my end as well. And so I'm coming at you because for me, what I'm doing is putting things in place, making things work for me. Back to the debt. Got 3 things in collections, $3,500 in total. 500, 1,000, 2,000. All credit cards. That shit has systematically brought your credit to a spot that you about to lie or not bring up that topic of credit scoring. I truly hope you're not put in a position where you allow yourself to fib about your credit, because truly what we're dealing with is something that's high impacting, has an effect on everything in our society. Your ability to get housing, your ability to obtain mobility, cars, transportation, your ability to systematically go from one class to another, lower income to middle class. No one talks about how you get there. No one talks about how to make things that look daunting small enough that you can squash that like an ant. And I don't think we should be stepping on ants, but I definitely think we should put things in perspective in a way in which we let that thing know, you ain't Godzilla. You ain't Gaika. I got this. Y'all got this. I know where the debt's being held. Don't be afraid to have those conversations. I spent many years in debt collecting. Man, you see these little national debt relief commercials and you are getting the instant impression that your deficit, whatever it is holding you down, the things you have in collections, that's out of your control. You need us. You need us to do what we know you can't do. You're down. And to get out, you need us. Nah, national debt relief. Y'all niggas can go suck a motherfucking dick. Nah, I'm joking. I might want to one day do an ad for y'all. I might need your money to make my shit better. No, I don't want y'all money. And I don't mean any negativity towards you, because profitable company is truly something difficult to obtain in many instances. But National Debt Relief, I don't like them as a company because I think their inherent philosophy is making you believe you can't do it without them. That's that negativity I don't like to fool with. You got 3 things in collections, and I want you to know you got this. I want you to know there's a way. And simply, I recommend if you're low on income or your funds are being stretched to the max, which is generally symptomatic of having things in collections. Something happened that, was more on your plate than your spoons and hands could accommodate in one setting. So things happen, things occur. How we tackle it, how we overcome it, how we put that adversity in perspective in a way that mano y mano, I don't like to fight. Some shit go down. I got this. Y'all got this. That $500 credit card that went to collections may have started off $350 balance, $350 balance. It went to about $360. Y'all can make the payments. They charged it off. Now it's in collections, $505. You already feeling some kind of way. Get it. Been there. Don't be hesitant to take a settlement. I love a settlement. You look at the way your credit is impacted if you pay that balance in full versus accepting the settlement. And I want you to know, it's in many instances about a 15 to 20 point difference. I'll take a settlement. If I'm low on funds and I'm being stretched, but I'm actually in a position to start tackling these financial adversities. Why? Because I've taken an honest look at myself. I made sure that my income to expense ratios in the proper balance. Dotting the I's, crossing the T's. I'm making $3,000. I'm spending $2,500. I'm saving $500 each month. Month over month, your boy's growing. If you're a lady, the lady's growing. You're they or them. We all got this. Because truly, no matter who you are, your background, we're in many instances faced with a very similar adversity. But in many instances, in America especially, the knowledge that gets taught and spread around is not always equal. Certain issues are easier for others in certain demographics to tackle because certain people are getting the proper teaching, that generational teaching, that that quality, school education, because your parents got dollars and stuff, because they know what I'm talking about. They've been known it. Their parents knew it. So we got this because knowledge is accessible, and you happen to make it to my channel. Call that debt. Pull up your credit score. Pull up your credit report. Find out what companies hold those debts. Don't be afraid to have a conversation. Don't get on that, wait 7 years and then shit will fall off. No. Don't be on that. Pay a national debt relief company your hard-earned dollars to make payments for you. I want you to know something. National Debt Relief made currently, we only majority of the way through 2025, but currently National Debt Relief's revenue is $597 million for 2025 alone. Still counting, still rising. Why? Because they've convinced mother effers that they need them, that they can't get to that next step in the quality in which they're living and experiencing without going through their doors. Nah. If we're in a position and we couldn't make payments, shit went to collections, I finally stabilized myself, I can start tackling this. I want you to believe in yourself in a way that you feel empowered enough to take an honest look at your credit report and say, there's a plan. So what I like to do, especially if you got 3 things in collections, get that smaller one. Get that smaller one out. I've had multiple conversations with people. People got $100, $150 things in collections. Why? You got a $150 thing in collections. You find out what company holds it. You give them a call. Hey, I'm going through a tough time, and things are still tough, but I just really want to address this debt, and I feel like I can maybe, depending on what you guys can do, can maybe get this handled. You guys offer settlements? Yeah, settlement is where a company that holds the debt will offer you a lesser amount. You pay that lesser amount. They update the credit report. It's settled in full. You pay it in full. Yeah, bump your credit up by 50 points, 60 points, depending on what it is. You settle it. They're updated by 33 points, 40 points. And in my honest opinion, if your dollars are low and you've decided that what's on your plate is manageable by you, every dollar counts. So if you can turn that $150, thing that's in collections and down to a $75 payment, yeah, I'm gonna need you to send me that email diagramming the settlement. Once I have that in place, I'm gonna go ahead and make that payment. Now, guys, you walk into any debt collection agency, no matter if they own the debt or if they're a third-party collector that has been contracted by Capital One or one of these other behemoth-ass companies, to go ahead and collect on us little poor folk, you feel me? That company, you walking in there, you're a collector, you got a daily goal. You are entertaining any and every conversation. Why? Debt has a shelf life. As it goes on, that is lower and lower. They want it in, out, and about that business. Dollar bill, y'all. So ultimately, what I'm getting at is, if you are willing to talk to them, they're gonna have a conversation. Back to our shit. You have $3,500 in collections. Guess what? That $500 one, that's the one I'm tackling first. I'm calling them up. How y'all doing? I'm Daniel. I'm Boom to y'all motherfuckers. But to them niggas, I'm Daniel. Yeah, I see on my credit report that I have something in collections with you guys. They're gonna go through the process. They're gonna verify your information. They're gonna do their due diligence. We don't want them just telling your business to anybody. So identify me. Make sure you got my right address. Why? Because ultimately, you're going to send me that letter saying that we agreed upon this settlement. I also want the email, but I want that physical paper copy as well. Back to how I'm going to plot and plan with these mother effers. Talk to them. Got a balancer of $505. They're going to say some shit like, this is an attempt to collect a debt. Any information obtained will be used for it. Yeah, they going to give you that. They going to let you know the call's recorded. And that's to your benefit, because what negotiations occur, that is cemented in that digital recording. So don't feel like they ain't gonna honor that stuff. Don't be afraid of a settlement because you think they're gonna play you. Get it in writing. Have them send you an email. They're gonna ask you, hey, how much do you think you can afford? I always like to let them go first. But you know what? No matter what they say, no matter what you say, no matter how it starts, no matter what the first offer is, if you have ever negotiated, that first offer should never be that final amount. Can you do $350 to pay this off? I'll be honest with you. I've been going through a tough time, and I've stabilized my expenses in a way that I'm actually making some progress. But actually, my mom that's gonna be helping me out in this instance, and she never actually told me how much she can pay. But you mentioned 350. Let me put you on a brief hold quick. I actually have her here. One moment. Go back. Yeah, I just bit a cough drop. I like my voice to be melodious for y'all. I'm doing this for y'all. Ain't no influencer shit. For me, the probability that I get enough views, the probability that I happen to shake things up in a manner that y'all start paying me, that's gonna happen if I continue to do this. And based on how I view things, based on my resolve, I'm gonna continue to do it. I have a passion to talk to people. My job allows me to help people. And honestly, I think there's a lot greater probability that I might help and truly influence 8 to 12 people who have to come across this video in whatever amount of time than it is. Then I'm gonna be getting a fat ass check from YouTube. So if you come across this video and you happen to be in a position where at times things seem down, you seem your feelings that you're down and out, things are rough, tougher than ever been before, and for some people that situation could be lead to the final situation. And for some, that kind of adversity truly shows the resolve that is within them. And a lot of people are able to get to the point where they're able to look at adversities in a way that really puts that thing into perspective. So for me, I'm gonna put them on hold and go play talk to my mama, because my mom ain't paying my bills. I'm paying my bills. But that debt collector, he don't need to know my business. He looking at you from the perspective you a meal. He don't give a damn if you got money, no money, or not. He want to eat. They want to eat. I don't mind looking small for the purpose of negotiation, especially if that ultimately works in my favor. Now, that tactic might not be your tactic. Maybe it's just be a more honest conversation for you. Hey, man, I can afford $350. Can you give me that email right now? Perfect. I just got that. Go ahead and process this card right now if we could. I'm getting it down to $275. I'm getting it down to $3. Hell, I might get you to accept $200 for this 505 balance that really only started off at 375. And here lies what I like to call smooth sailing. Here lies conversations worth having. Hey, person on the other end of that phone, working for that unscrupulous ass company, holding my debt that y'all made bigger. My mom, she has $300 that that she has to help me, and this isn't my only debt. If I'm gonna truly make that little bit of help work for me, I'm gonna need a settlement today. If you can do it, I can make that payment right now. Can you lower this balance down to $200? You can. How close to that can you get? They might come back to you and say 275. Hey, can you meet me in the middle? Why don't we do 250? If you can do 250 right now, I'll wait for that email. I'll grab my debit card, and we can get this show on the road. Now, this debt collector for many years. I'm perceptive. You tell me that. My first thought is, Mother effer, didn't you just say your mom was giving you this money? Hold on now, play. Why you all in my business? Because you can see my social don't mean you get to be in my business. I got that debit card right now. Are you or are you not able to get this approved? Yeah. If you're a real good debt collector, you're able to make that decision right there for yourself, by yourself. Some people got to get it approved from the managerial team, and that is what it is. That's fine. I'll wait. Go talk to them. 3 minutes, 2 minutes. A little time goes by. They get back on the phone. You know what, sir? My supervisor approved that payment contingent on you making that payment today, as you mentioned. In fact, they're typing up that settlement offer right now. And if I'm not mistaken, the email address, they're typing up that settlement letter right now. We have the email address on file. Yep, that's still current. Well, that should be coming soon. Got that in writing. Pay it off. Generally, debt collection companies will update things that next Sunday. Depends on the company. Smaller ones might just do it once a month. Some do it twice a month. Some do it 4 times a month. Some update it every Sunday. Excuse me. And for me, what that means is you pay it. You got your settlement letter emailed to you. Hard copies coming. That payment just went through. That $505 balance was just reduced down to $250. You paid it. They're going to update it on Sunday. A month after that, month and a half after that, you're going to see your credit score go up. So if you're starting off this process and your credit score is unfortunately 600, guess what? You just took hold of that settlement. You saved $255, probably some change. You made that payment. You only have 2 other things in collections. Your credit score just went up by 40 points. Now you're at 640. Guess what? You got this. You got this. That adversity, that thing that at one point seemed daunting and larger than life, bigger than Debo, and guess what? It wasn't. You showed them who you are, and you gotta, remember what that felt like. Remember what it felt like to overcome an adversity. When you're overcoming the next adversity, think about that success story you have. Understand that it's tough, but once you get over it, once you get that rhythm about you, hey, it ain't nothing but gotta catch them all. And we only got 2 more debts left. Cause guess what? Next payday comes around, same tactic. We're a little better at it. Call them that $1,000 debt. Have that conversation. Go into it knowing what you want to pay. Go into that conversation knowing what you want to pay. That $1,000 debt, it ain't waiting 7 years. We ain't waiting 7 years to be able to effectively change our lives from one quality point to another. We ain't staying at copper. Boy, we about to hop the silver and then get to go. We moving up to the east side. So yeah, we about to call that $1,000 card. We gonna do that same process. Go into it knowing what you want to pay, what you can afford to pay. If you've been able to effectively, change some of those negative habits that have been putting your finances in life out of balance, trust me, as time goes on, you're gonna be able to make more and more lump sum payments. Some people want to do small payments and spread that around. However you go about it, do your thing. If it's not working, change it up. If you need advice, hit me on the chat. I'm not the only one out there. YouTube and various other outlets, various other resources are afforded to us. So even if we weren't blessed with that generational teaching, because you know, they've done many things to circumvent, happy, black family. And when you only have one parent, you only gonna get so much. That one parent's working all the time. You raising yourself. You watching Star Trek to get your vocab right. You feel me? Using words that you happen to know what it means because you've done a little research. You learn at school. You asking extra questions. You making sure that if you don't understand it, you're asking, again, you understand it. Maybe even ask for that person that don't got the courage to go ahead and ask for themselves. But that $1,000 debt, 500, 600, they pay it off. Your score goes up by another 40. That $2,000 debt, I love big ones like that. I don't want to pause. But when it's bigger, they want it gone. That company that originally held that debt, it's only worth so much to them, and the likelihood that it's going to get paid off. When you think about every single debt that goes into collections, and you think about how that one is just a drop in the bucket, in many instances, everyone's not getting paid off. Everything in collections is not finding the person who needs to pay it, and people die. And in those instances, a lot of times that ain't getting paid. So yeah, you get a $2,000 balance, and you go into that conversation, your nuts on the table. Shit, you might pay $700. Get that thing out collections. I might have to go to my mom like, I need $250. I got $5. I just paid off the other $2. Can you help your boy out? No matter how you got to go about it. But if you think about the time frame that it takes to make those kind of moves, you got 3 things in collections, 5 things in collections. You're gonna get that thing. You're gonna speed through those adversities fairly quick, because every time you have that success, that propulsion, it's getting smoother and smoother. At this point, you MJ doing the moonwalk. You Chris up there with a little bright vest on or something, So have those conversations. Find out what needs to happen to ultimately elevate you to that next level. Break through that ceiling, get to a new room, and find out you still the old you, but you got some newness to you as well. We got that baseline personality, but we change. And if you're doing it right, you're not staying the same. Get to that next room. Understand that the things affecting you, the adversities that are weighing you down, they're only going to weigh you down as long as you allow it to happen. These debt relief companies, National Debt Relief, you hire them, they're going to ask you to pay a certain amount. Their business plan is not efficiency. It's not, hey, let's get this all handled for you as quick as humanly possible. That would be impractical for them because they make money over time. They're fee-based. Yeah, 5, 6 things in collections. They'll take 6 months to a year or longer to address those things. What they're going to do, contact all these different companies. Tell them that you're working with them, not to contact you, to only contact them. These debt relief companies, they got a lot of people that $597 million in revenue so far. Government shut down. And they still want you to believe that you can't do it without them. No. There's many different formats that have been utilized that if you want to just mimic someone else's success story, overcoming debt and things in collections and just financial adversities, the information's out there. So the notion that you can't do it, that's hogwash. That's hogwash. If you're at the point where you're making payments, lump sum payments to get things out of collections, then you may have a few credit cards or a credit card or two that hasn't made it to collections. You most likely, stabilize your finances in a way that you're now able to cushion that financial reserve. You're able to build in the savings. You most likely have already started taking steps to lower the balances of the credit cards that haven't been charged off. And, you get those 3 to 5 things, 10 things out of collections. Someone wants to go for the biggest one first. No, I'm going for the smallest one first. I need to show myself if I'm demoralized and I got ads for this national relief company that got me believing I can't do it without them. Like, might be a tad bit feeling like I can't do this. I'm gonna get that small one out the way. Settlement. That's a success story. That's something you can build upon. That's something you can mimic and do again. It's a little warm up here. I got this cardigan on. I was trying to look good for y'all. I'm like, hey, I gotta get my 12 people to 20 because I'm gonna help 80 y'all my alphas get out of whatever it is that got y'all. I'm trying to be pretty boy fly up in here. You feel me? Because I want you to tell your friends. I want to truly help you. If I can engage and connect, if I can give information that reaches people, then what I'm going to do is find out that I didn't have all the answers. I'm going to get insights from individuals if you guys comment and feedback. I love a critique. Why? Because if I'm in the business of trying to contact and connect with people that ultimately help y'all, help myself, I gotta be open to understand that I don't have all this figured out and I'm learning just like you. I love that because I'm just gonna keep sponging it up, baby. So thank you so much for gracing this platform, which is Outlandish with Boone. This is a podcast, baby. I'm sitting here filming on my phone. I'm a grow. I got 9 subscribers. I'm gonna get that to 20. And if I ever make a little dollar or two off of talking to you amazing motherfuckers, shit. I'm gonna take that little bit of profit. I'm gonna reinvest in my equipment. I'm gonna get a better phone with some much better resolution. I'm gonna buy myself another cardigan because I feel like you gotta dress for success. Probably gonna do that, regardless of whether or not I make any revenue off of connecting with you guys, because I'm on a path that progress is coming. It's incremental progress, and I'm not biting off more than I can chew. This is smooth sailing if you let yourself know you got this. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to access information from a variety of sources. Government shut down. We're 15 days into it. And for some people, things are so tough that the notion that coming into one of the best months, November, in my opinion, I love fall colors. Being from Minnesota, I love fall colors. It's the best time of the year. So government shut down, the notion that certain people aren't going to get their benefits. Certain federal employees are not going to get paid. I'm hoping this is short-lived. I hope that the impact is minuscule and that we can truly get back to who we've been as a nation, and we can truly get back as a society on that path of making progress, being honest with ourselves, identifying inequities, identifying areas of opportunities, identifying where we can improve as people, and making change and progress bit by bit. We've been going down. Right now they're trying to circumvent, what they're trying to do is change districting and all this other stuff to limit ethnic groups' power and voice. They said, we've been trying to convince you guys to see things our way for all this time. We can just redraw the lines and give you guys less. Hey, man, what you can guarantee is what you got, what you bring to the table. If you can make your engine work for you consistently, you can control that one thing to consistently push yourself in a direction of progress. You can't control this, outside of our house and our house stuff. We can't control anything outside of who we are as individuals. So really, take this time to look inward at yourself and identify the changes you can make, and whatever it is you're looking to obtain, whatever your goals, whatever your aspirations are as a person. I just hope you're able to look at yourself honestly, because right now I'm really making it my goal to look at myself honestly. Out of body experience, I'm looking at myself from an elevated position saying things can be better. And I feel like that honesty, that ability to acknowledge that where I want to be and how I want to be living is not where I'm currently at. That's not you slapping yourself. That's not you downing yourself. That's you being honest with yourself. Because once you have that, we can make progress. We're going to weather this storm as individuals. We are going to weather this storm as Americans. This storm, which is the political climate that we currently live in. I truly hope that as people of this great nation, that we can start looking at things a little more honestly and limit that divide that is encompassing what it means to be American. We're so adversarial within our home, our nation, that we ain't really taking that honest look at ourselves that's going to put us on that path of progress. So I really implore any individual sees me or doesn't, watches this video or videos I put out or not, that we're able to just really attempt to get more and have more control over that one thing that we can truly control. That's us. So that's how we navigate through this tumultuous climate that we're currently in. So don't forget that you are great. Don't let no company who's profit based trick you into believing you can't do something without them. But day is lovely. Shoot water in your booty, clean it all up and stuff. God damn it, if you ain't there, you gotta wipe that yourself. Yeah. Guess what? Damn it, you can do it. My name is Daniel. I am Boone. This is Outlandish with Boone, and I hope you mother effers come back again. We gonna talk again. But you ain't gotta take my word for it. Peace.